advisors. They actually really helped us a lot by sharing their experience, their expertise, and their knowledge in this whole field.
Any question?
Can I add something?
Yes.
One that I have been working with teams so many years on different kinds of competitions. One important thing I think a lot of the teams could use is to do what we call like rapid prototyping. Meaning, once you have an idea, as Mingo's suggests to you, share it with people, like bounce it off, and also check it with reality, adjust it so that your plan will become more real. Because many of the times when we think of a plan, we think of it kind of from the thin air, and it may not work. We think that it could work, but through this process, we can actually approach a real business much quicker and more effective.
Any question from the floor want to ask our past speaker? Yes, Hamilton.
Hi, good morning. So my name is Hamilton. I work for HKSEC. And well, being a social entrepreneur myself, I congratulate you guys. I think you're doing a great job. And I know that the things that we are doing are quite serious and important in society. But I kind of wanted to break the ice a little bit and actually, we talked about passion, like we've been talking a lot about it today. I think one of the fundamental aspects that we haven't been talking about is that passion also means that it's enjoyable and it's fun. So I wanted to ask you, like in your daily life, like what's fun and enjoyable about being a social entrepreneur and being, having your organization?
Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Who's first? Is it fun?
Yes, it's really fun. I don't know how I can have an example for you, but we recently hired a new graduate and we pay pretty below average salary. But the point is, I'm a very good friend of her, and she just uploaded on Facebook on her status saying that, wow, I become an ICE woman and I don't need to work anymore. So I was wondering, what does that mean? You need to work like freaking hard. But the point is, she said, when you work for your passion, you would not work anymore. Sometimes it's like there's no job for her. This is like a call, and then she just answer the calling. She just be herself, and then do the things that she believes deeply in herself and in ICE as well. So this is, I cannot say this is like a fun for everybody, but for us it's like deep down motivation that drives us so much that really we woke up and say, okay, let's just go to office and just work and just enjoy our like passion and stuff. Some other things that maybe you want to share with us.
Yeah, I think what really motivates us is when we plan it, we dream about it, and then we write it on paper. But when you actually do it, and the positive feedback that you got from the social impact. For example, we organized the Think Back Epic one-day social enterprise workshop last month. Yeah, yeah, and then in that one part of that workshop, like True Colors, we organized like an Indian dance practice for about 2 months that we'll perform in that day. So through that whole process of dancing lessons in the 2 months, we actually see how people, because we have an Indian dancer who teaches us, and she's a mother, and then she told us the story when she first came to Hong Kong. She forgot her key to go back to her house, and then she just tried to knock on people's door, and then she not even asked them for anything. She just wanted a cup of water because she was really thirsty. And that was her first day in Hong Kong, and her husband was at work, and she said everyone looked at her as if she's a monster or something. Like, they open the door, when they see her, they just close the door immediately. They don't even ask her, what do you want, or what's going on with you. And she was crying, and she got no help. And she doesn't know the way, anything. All the thing that she could do is just to wait there being really thirsty and hungry until her husband came home. So she got really bad impression with Hong Kong people, or like the whole thing. And then through this Indian lesson, we were trying to learn her dance, and we had really good time. And for myself, I also joined the lesson. And then for us Hong Kong people, we actually got much deeper understanding into Indian culture. Like they really just feel so happy to dance. For us, for our dance, because I also learned dancing when I was young, we had to do exact step, every step, like perfect steps. But for them, in the first lesson, she said, you don't need to do perfect steps, just have your own style. Oh, yeah, to say hi. He also joined our class. And then, so through that, we have more understanding through each other, and it changed all our perception to ethnic minorities in Hong Kong. It also changed her perception towards us, and we had a really good feedback after the dance. The people who saw us dancing, and we had a lunch sharing, and they also feel different. They wrote down their feedback on the form and say they really feel so different after the whole experience, and that's what really motivates us to do more.
I think the change that Angela has talked about is really touching. From my experience, it's nice to see when people change their perception. First, start from my own family, because when I had to take all these materials back home, all this rubbish back home, and piling it up in my sitting room, my parents was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you picking rubbish and piling it up in my sitting room, and I have nowhere to walk around, and all of you know how small Hong Kong's apartment is. And then my parents' tolerance started to become better and better, with all these banners and newspapers and rubbish at home. And then because they see that me and my friend was working really hard on making prototypes and design at home, and they're looking at, you were seriously working on something. So then they were a bit more easy with the materials. And then now my dad has retired, and actually he helps me to go around to school and collect banners as well. I mean, it's really nice.
So family business now.
Yeah. So it's actually really fun and nice to see when people change, when you were doing something fun.
So Hamilton asked you whether you enjoy it or not. I think you enjoy it very much, right?
Yes, I think so.
Sue, really I'm also very proud of Sue because of her project of upcycling. I had an opportunity to speak in the Hong Kong Book Fair about upcycling and environmental issues. And after that occasion, I was invited by another guy to the upcycling exhibitions. And then just several weeks ago, and I think we need to do something for them. Because, as Sue said, it's quite difficult to collect those banners, and we are so-called rubbish. But actually they are not rubbish. In the designer's point of view, they are raw materials. Rubbish can be turned into raw materials that you don't need to throw it away and throw on the land, but you can reuse it and to increase and upgrade the value of the product. So I think of an idea of engaging the government to help providing some vacant land. If some land that have no immediate planning for immediate use, then we can make use of that and find some contractors to build up some rooftop and divided that into some workshops and exhibition areas, and also at least a warehouse for collecting raw materials. So I put into action immediately by talking with a lot of guys, some big guys in this business environment, and to see whether it's feasible or not. I haven't talked with the government yet, but I will do that. And also, I have tried to form some initiative. I have talked with Azul when we travel together to Hong Kong for an intro session. I think we will do something okay, on top of upcycling logistics. But this is the way the so-called I'm quite proud that we need to do something to change the systematic thinking or the fundamental approach that some of the old way or traditional way of doing things is not so efficient or so customized for the modern use. So we need to change that. And with students, I'm not a student anymore, but I'm very passionate as a student to do something that may be crazy or impossible. But I don't mind because I will not be paid for doing that. Okay? I just want to do something and help and nurture those young entrepreneurs to develop their career much better. Okay. Yeah. Any students?
My name is Sunny. Hello. My question is, I'm now seriously preparing myself to enter this very meaningful event, and I'd like to ask if there's anything I should prepare myself mentally or physically, so that to enter the event, maybe timing, should I sacrifice any time studying, or private life, family, and other things?
Wow, very practical. Yeah, it's like a tips for going to examination. Yeah. Ready?
This like several steps. It's very practical. Number one, you share the idea with like as much as people that are around you and your peer, like big people or whoever that is interested to help you. Number two, talk to your professor, talk to your family, whether they will support you if this is like a real idea. So psychologically prepare them first. Maybe you want to take your gap year, maybe you want to drop your school, maybe you want to like quit and be an entrepreneur. And your family was like, wow. And then like the third step, you need to read a lot. You need to read a lot about like social innovation. You need to read a lot on how to pitch an idea, how to do selling, how to do marketing, how to build a team, how to do finance, how to do accounting. There's like millions of things that you need to do and prepare. And physically eat well, sleep well, and just be a very good humankind. And with energy, and energize people around you, feel your like competitive edge, and then win the competition.
Any suggestion for our potential contestants?
Not really. Barry has given a really good list of tips. I think it's important to keep yourself exciting with your own ideas. Because otherwise you can't really, if you share your ideas with someone that you don't like, then they don't really want to give you comments or whatever. I think it's important to keep yourself exciting, whatever you do.
Keep yourself excited.
Well, I didn't give up my family. And actually, 4 of our teammates, we are all working full-time when we joined the competition as well. So basically, I think that 3 simple things, 3 simple steps that I will give. First of all, identify your passion. What are you really excited about? What are you really interested about? Like Raymond said, what do you think about when you first wake up in the morning? What do you really want to change? And like that. And second step is you try to see how other people do it. Like, was there any other case that's similar to your idea that has been done by other people? Or even like how other social entrepreneurs, what are their story? How did they start? And where did their idea come from? And like to read more, like what is it? And also to ask, when you see, the best thing, better than reading is that you actually meet the person and ask him personally or something. And the third step is to find the right people to join your team, because that also really matters. When you have to work together, you make sure you have the same passion, make sure you're on the same ground, make sure that they also want to do the same, and they're also as passionate as you. And I think that are the 3 central important steps.
Good. And that gentleman?